Morning, folks. It's 8:10 a.m. Monday, March 6th. Bada boom, bada bing. According to Mr. Black Panther. Okay, now it's 8:11. Whatever. Monday, March 6th, 2017. I'm not the only one that put some timestamps on his videos, but because I talk to you about stuff that almost no one's aware of, and I mean almost no one at all, I need to have that for you so that in the future, when it does come out and it's understood, you can go back to it and see. I put out a couple videos the last few days. Yesterday, last 2 days, I've been getting hammered so hard. I know a lot of you are new coming in. Wow, how do you say this? What I am inside is really strong, and I actually kill spirit and stuff on the other side. Second dimension. I see it, talk to it, understand it. They all know me. I talk with our friends in space. Some of them right here. When I first woke up, started waking up strong. I've seen things, known things were going to happen, and I'd tell people exactly how it's going to happen, and then all of a sudden my friends would be with me when it happened, and they're like, holy mackerel. I'm like, yeah, whatever, and, you know. It's really cool at first, but you get used to it. And I was always having to fight stuff, so I was never really as happy about it as you could be, as you will be as you awaken, become yourself more. Those of you that are coming in, my eyes, muscles, they twitch. I can't help it. I have a lot of energy going through me. Spirit comes in to talk, say, hey, they're trying to say something, they're doing something, your eyes will twitch. We're at a point, not just in our life, in all our lives, in creation's history, where everything's changing. Everything. Maybe one of the most, or maybe the most talked about event in metaphysical stuff, as far as emotions and everything flowing, is the rising of the lotus in the morning to come up through the water to the surface and flower, and then go back later on at night. I believe that's how it happens. Anyway, the opening of the lotus is a famous thing. Well, right now, y'all have freedom that you've never known ever in any of your lives. You have control issues that were controllers, things controlling you, your angels, original first being male and female, and some other stuff, very powerful, large, huge source. They've been taken away. Now it's a time for you to be free. You have more freedom now than you ever have, like I said, in any life. And it's easier and more fluent for you to wake up, become yourself. It's easier to do. It'll flow much more easily, more than it ever has before. Y'all are old. Spirit, you've been around a long time. The first life I ever had was 2,863.34 thousand, 2,863.34 trillion Earth years ago, the way we measure time on Earth, which is the movement of our planet. time is different in other places, and sometimes people try to make a big thing out of it. Well, you go by the rotation of the planet. Jupiter, time on Jupiter is different, the way you express time, because it's huge. But it can also be, changed into Earth time. So, anyway, that's how many years there's been spirit, which is sentient energy, having lives. Try not to slurp. That's hard to do. My name is Jay Essex. I call myself J. Arae Essex. I don't think of myself as this human body. All of us are more than that. But the more you become awake, the more you see and understand who you are. This is an introduction to a series I'm about to put out. They're going to be soft, kind of short but informative, to give you everything you need for free. Okay, this is not a money-making thing. Now, I'm going to do videos on each one of these sections. They'll be for sale at thespiritualfoundation.com. People might call these classes. I don't like to think of it as classes. I like to think of it as information being offered. The class structure thing, it just bothers me a little bit. There's a class, there's a teacher. Woo, yay teacher. No, it's like this Reiki. There's all these Reiki masters. What matters is that you learn as much as you can about what actually exists. You become stronger. Your abilities get stronger. You can see more for yourself, and then you make up your own decision about what you're being told. No matter who says it, me, anyone else, doesn't matter. Your own truth is inside you. It's through your understanding, and it happens mostly in the hypothalamus gland, also between that and the heart. Excuse me. Anyway, I've been very busy this life, especially the last 8 years, doing stuff. It's not important people know I did it, but it's important that people know it's done. It's hard to find the words for this. It really is. I talk about things, and words usually flow rather well. I'm an author. I've written books to tell you where you came from, your origin, creation's origin. Once you've read the first part of the first book, you'll understand that what came first, the chicken or the egg, isn't even really a question. The answer just is. Where'd this God thing come from? Why is it called God? Your religions, governments, our family in space, but most importantly, the original first being, where'd it come from? This thing called God. All that information I already have for you in books. Everything's available at thespiritualfoundation.com. But cards. I made cards for you. They're rune cards. It's got the Elder Fruth Arc and a whole lot of other different symbols. 56 cards. Helps you talk with spirit guides. Work with your spirit guides too. Crank up your different energy fields or chakras to make yourself stronger. Warn you when you need to close up and protect yourself. Believe it or not, you can ask for protection through this through the field, the source field everywhere. You ask for protection, you will. And as long as you're not screwing somebody, if you're a person of honor and you need to be protected, and when you want it for someone else and they need it, you will see a silver energy field form around yourself or that person. And that comes through the field. Everything is different. Now, the most important thing is that the change happens. The second most important thing is that you see it for yourself. Again, your own understanding comes from your own truth, which comes from absorbing data that you have available, and it continually flowing in that same manner. That river keeps flowing downstream. Eventually, you have faith that that river is going to keep flowing downstream. Repetition of a fact creates a situation where you learn you can probably count on something to happen, but don't freak out if something else happens for a moment or something. We have with us so many wonderful beings from other planets that are out flowing around. It's possible for you to talk with them telepathically. You don't need a cell phone. It's important. It's important. Excuse me, for all of you that have heart energy, to learn how to focus your heart energy. The heart's incredibly powerful. It grabs the major thought process from your, which is like data processing from your brain, the emotions from the base chakra, where the spine hits the pelvic bone, and then pulls it into the heart, where the heart moves it around and works on it and blends it together until it becomes a feeling. Then that feeling comes out of the heart, goes out, and then comes back in. But then it's also going up into the hypothalamus to mix with data and everything else coming in. One more time, okay? And then this happens continuously. It just keeps going. That's a process called learning. That's a process called your existence. That's what you are. That's part of you. You can easily, you do it all the time, you can easily go through time and space to do stuff as spirit. You have incredible abilities. You use them all the time. There's no such thing as psychic. Everyone has metaphysical abilities. These are not a gift. You've all been given one gift, and that was separation from the original first being to become yourself. After that, whatever you had, that's you. That's yours. You own it. It's yours. Not a gift. So, when someone uses their abilities or their personal self to help you, that's a gift. So, anyway, in this series, I'm going to give you everything you need. It's not going to be really long, but I'm going to give you everything you need to wake yourself up. Okay? I will have it on DVD in a much longer, detailed form, but I will give you everything you need. As we wake up, it's a normal thing for most all of us to want someone to hold our hand and guide us through, a teacher or something. I did when I first started waking up. And I was talking with the original first being female, and I said, "Where's my teacher?" And she just looked at me and gave me a nasty feeling. I'm like, okay, whatever. Screw you two. That was your God, now dead. Anyway, you can go through time. At 2/3 of the time, a little over 2/3 of the time, you got to remember, you literally go through time to look at it again. I'm going to talk about the different energy fields so you can find your core energy orientation, how the brain works, so you understand it. The more you understand it, the more you can understand what you're doing and how you're doing it, which gives you more faith in yourself. It helps you develop what you have, and it helps you move forward. Okay? Done this 1,000 times. Let's do it again. Not 1,000. I'm just throwing a number out there. Okay, here it is. All right. Just to get you started, the creation series. This is where everything came from. Scientists, everybody. No one can tell you. till now, till a couple of years ago or something. Creation is the beginning of your origin. Where does God thing come from? Simple. Book number 2, Creation, This Journey Evolving into Paradise. Okay? That's all the new beings that were created after the original offset of creation of creation. The initial building of creation. Book 2 has one of the 2 books has something about building dimensions, how you do it. I think I put it in the first book. That doesn't mean how you'll do it. You won't, but it's how it was done. The book number 2, the history of Atlantis, Lemuria, who came here, why, when, the Adamic races. And then book 3 is just being started. It's called Creation, Walking Through the Door. And that's walking through the door of the new creation that's waiting for you all when you get home. When you finish this life, get out of your body. So, this is nothing about religion. This is about spirituality, which is spirit. And spirit is, by exact definition, sentient energy. Just 2 words, sentient energy. Energy that has developed to the point of self-awareness. That happens in the first dimension. So in this series, I'm going to help you understand all kinds of things. Stone energy, how it helps you, which stones do what. How to talk with your spirit guides. These rune cards, it's the Elder Futhark. Okay, well, I used to use them in a few lives as a Viking boy. And it's got the different images inside it. There's plenty of them. I made the symbols and everything, just stuff. A lot of it comes from other planets I've had lives on. And then Deanna is, she's an architect, but she's the one that did this beautiful artwork. That's a picture of her and one of her past companions, Lola. And then you have the cards. This box is beat up. It's opened a lot. You use these cards, you're going to ask a question. But you know what? If you really want to get the most out of it, take the deck, take the cards and just shuffle them, okay? And then just pull out a card. Look at it. What does it say? Okay, that means power up my pineal. So I'm relaxing for a moment, powering up my pineal. And I have to look at that when I get off camera, and I have to hurry up. Someone out in space is getting ready to go to war. People talk about the Draco. The Draco are a reptilian type society group, some people that started embedding, just grabbing Drakh DNA any way they could and try to put it into their, well, they did put some of it into their bodies, trying to turn themselves into Drakh, but the Drakh are Drakh. Nothing is going to change that. And then this is water, which is fluid balance. It's like, I mean, like water balancing, it's fluid moving, it's flow. That's relative to source energy, usually Arae. Now I'm talking with another part of my spirit, and this is what just came up, means time's running out, which means I gotta hurry up and go. Then you can shuffle the cards up, put them back in. But folks, you can take these cards and lay them out one at a time. There's different cards in there that work on your different energy fields or chakras. So it'll tell you to use this, or you need to use this now. Close off your crown, open up your crown, left side of brain, right side of brain. The scanner. What's a scanner? How come no one ever hears about the scanner? Well, I've been going into people's brains for years now, a few thousand times, a few thousand, and go into the brains and open it up. Now, how is that possible? This crazy old man in overalls has got to be full of crap. This old man in overalls must be crazy. This man in overalls must think I'm stupid. No, none of the above. I got to get running. Darn it. I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Bada boom, bada bang. There it is. Got to recheck all the sound and everything. I had something I had to do for a minute. The Draco, what they call the Draco, not the Drock. The Drock are the oldest race that have been here. The very second pair of lives that was had in all creation was the creation of the Drock race. The most powerful beings, those two beings, Arae and Lily, were the most powerful beings that have ever existed, ever, or ever will. Anyway, the Draco it's a reptilian race that has made itself and tried to imbue itself. It has imbued itself with Drock DNA, trying to make themselves like the Drock, and they're really upset about how the Earth has literally already been taken away from the Anunnaki by the Drock, but it's just waiting for things to happen before everything comes out in the open. The problematic Anunnaki that are here on this planet, Anunnaki are cool. They're wonderful. They're beautiful, strong, powerful reptilian beings, very aggressive. They can be aggressive when they need to fight, but they're also aggressive with their compassion, their love, their honor. You want to talk about a beautiful culture? You should hear some of their music and stuff. Their art. Nothing is as you've been told. Nothing. 1 out of a million. Anyway, so trying to sum this up. First off, how do I get this? How do I know this? What books did I read to put this together? Because nobody can do it on their own. Isn't that the thought process that's in the back of most everyone's head that's awakening or wants to? Well, excuse me, what I am inside is different. It's Arae. I'll go back to the beginning. I've had 10.846 trillion lives. The first ones were my better half, Lily, and myself. I am the old man. This is my last life. I'm leaving. I'm not coming back. I have work to do. And permanently as spirit. My real self, just like your real self. Spirit, sentient energy. That's why the spiritual foundation is called the spiritualfoundation.com. These religions are all false. If anything was worth praise, why would it want it? Why would it allow it? It wouldn't. Okay, there's so much that's so easy to see, but you have to break away from what's been embedded in your brain since you were born. And don't blame your parents. Don't blame their parents, their parents, their parents. This was done by the other side, what was running things, and it's dead. The original first being that got lonely and pulled itself into two different halves, male and female. That's the creation of the male and female thing. Anyway, so how do I know this? My energy is really strong. I can do things that have never been done. I can't telekinetically lift a pencil, don't want to, don't care. But I go into people's brains and I affect the brains. That's called the crank up. And just to mention it, just so I've said it, the price right now for a single consult, which includes the free crank up energy that goes with it, It's $600 for 45 minutes. As of the 8th, today's what, the 6th? As of the morning of the 9th, it's going to be double that. Okay, I'm retiring. I'll still have consults to do, but I don't. I need not to be doing many of them. So, if you see some of the videos where I've cranked people up, you can actually feel the energy. If it's in your mindset to move forward, you'll actually start getting it too. Okay, that's impossible. Jay's talking garbage. Well, no, it's not garbage. I've gone through hell to lay down the foundation. There is no hell, by the way. The only hell there is when you're in a body and being abused. But anyway, I've gone through great lengths to prove that when people are talking to spirit, that they're talking to spirit and they're not insane and they don't need to be locked up in a mental rehab center or something. Also, if you take here, I'm going to show you just the outer picture of two different sheets from quantitative electroencephalogram. One of them, I did this with a friend of mine, Martin Para. He was in Sweden. The quantitative electroencephalogram is literally a medical device that measures brain activity. Okay, it's a certified, accepted, legal medical device. Okay, if you look at it, I think it's on the left-hand side. It says Martin wrote on the top of it, Martin alone, and then on the right side it said Martin with J or Arae, something like that. First, they did the test with Martin just being put through the test with it's a whole bunch of wires and sensors, wires going to sensors that lay in different parts of the brain, and it picks up the activity. So the first test is Martin by himself, and the second test is Martin when I was going into his brain, but only his hypothalamus gland. I didn't fire up the whole brain, just the hypothalamus gland, a small part of it. Okay? So take a look at this graph and look at the test that was taken without me touching them, and the same exact test taken with me touching them. Okay? Here, check it out. Okay, that's proof I can go into someone's brain. Okay, there's it's so funny. Everyone can do so much, and they're struggling so hard just to try to grasp the concept that they're so much more than what they've been told they are. It's not funny. The only way it is funny is because you're so much more. It's like an elephant thinking he only has the strength of a mouse. Okay? Mouse is no better than an elephant, or vice versa. But power level? Yeah, a whole lot bigger. That's what's waiting for all of you. Okay? I put myself in not halfway house, in a rehab center, a hospital and rehab center, and told all the doctors and psychiatrists and everyone else there and in a regular hospital what to do for a living. Go into people's brains and do stuff. Showed them the quantitative electroencephalogram reports. They had me. They could have literally just put me in a regular mental institution for whatever period of time, throwing away the key. I told them what I do. I told them I talk to spirit. I told them I actually, can affect it on the other side, to go into people's brains and do stuff. They were like, okay. And when I showed them the quantitative electroencephalogram report, they looked at it and they said, damn. And they would look at this page, look at this, go back, check this data, that data, that, they spent 5-10 minutes, easy, not 5-10 seconds, looking at it. I proved to them, and they released me just like they didn't put me on any kind of hard meds or something. I have lung medication I take just so I can keep breathing. That's strong enough. But they just gave me a clean bill of health. So if someone wants to say I'm crazy, guess what? A board of doctors and psychiatrists, psychologists, they say no. And then when I got out, they said, go ahead and go by this triage center, where they, if they feel you need some help, they'll, be talking with you. So I did. I went there, talked to the lady, and the lady running it, the psychiatrist, I guess, I started talking with her and everything, and she just looked at me and she goes, I actually feel your energy. Folks, I'm making sure that you have a very strong, powerful foundation that you can stand on, and you can say, I have abilities. I have metaphysical abilities, and you're not going to tell me they're not real, and you're not going to tell me that I'm nuts, because it's already been proven that this is real. And then I'm going to help you actually go ahead and wake up. Okay? So I've done a lot more than that. Let's not even bother going there. But the thing is, I'm doing what needs to be done so that you can finally become yourself. Once you've really awoken and you see and feel things as they are and understand, the more you understand, the better decisions you make for yourself, your family, anyone else you love. But the more you understand life. When I finally finished really becoming aware of everything, I looked around and it's like, I used to live like that, is the first thing I said. And that's not putting anyone down. If it was going to be putting someone down, which it wasn't, it would have been putting myself down because, look, I've changed now. It's like, folks, there's no such thing as a late bloomer or anything else. All there is the action of becoming yourself. So someone beat you to it. So what? There's other people beat you to death in their home, back home on the other side in the second dimension floating around. So who cares? The thing is for you to engage yourselves now or whenever you're ready. So, no one's ahead of you. No one's behind you. This is all happening. You see the lawn. The lawn starts growing. Some grass comes up earlier, some later. It's a beautiful lawn. Doesn't matter which blade came up first. So, and the more your abilities increase, the easier it is to talk with folks. Near the end of the series, I will be going into telepathy. Okay? Talking with other people with your mind. There's just a lot to understand first. So anyway, I'm also in a process, when I go to people and crank you up, your brain physically, almost all the time, your brain physically grows. As a matter of fact, it will physically grow, but whether or not it's such a big measurement that your hats won't even fit or anything anymore, it all depends on your age, your health, stuff like that, okay? But it also evolves your DNA. Why? Because you start carrying more energy through your body, especially by myself having put my own source energy, not spirit. It's not sentient. It's energy. Okay? It doesn't have a mind of its own. It's just energy. Put that inside your body, your brain, and it just starts growing stronger and stronger. It's source, okay? I am the strongest thing that's ever been out there. I was made like that in the beginning. That's what happened, okay? How come you got into this taxi instead of that taxi? That's the one that stopped. No big deal, just is, okay? A car and a boat, two different things. One's not better than the other. You can't use the other one you can't use each of them in the other's field, territory, whatever. But because of that, it's my job to do this. I love my job. I love everything. But I'm aggressive as hell. When it comes to protection, I'm aggressive as hell. When it comes to getting something done, I'm aggressive. I want to, hurt and do it. I'm not abusive, though. Anyway, so that's why I can do this stuff. That's why I understand it. And my goal, my intention is to help as many of you as possible. Excuse me. This body's sick. I've been wanting to get out of this body for years now. I get close, poof, back and forth. It's just been a nightmare. So I got 2 lung diseases, degenerative joint disease, blah, 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 blah. So my health is screwed up. But that, it doesn't matter. I'm finally getting towards, you can easily say I'm in the twilight of my life. But the thing is, for you to have your new beginning, your dawn, your new dawn, your awakening. And I have everything you need. The information, the product. I'm not saying you can't do it without it. You can. It's what I have to offer is the quickest way for you to get there. And when I go into you and crank you up, you get stronger than you've ever been in any life. And about 10% of the energy I put in you, not spirit but energy, that bonds with you, what you are inside, your soul, your spirit, whichever type it is. Different types are in the books. And then you keep that forever. So, anyway. And there's a lot of people out there that say it's not fair that we can't afford a crank up. Well, you're still getting worked on, okay? And when you come out of body, you're gonna, those of you that, are here to help, you're gonna get the help. You're gonna get the help. So you still get it, just not during this, life as strong as the others, but you're still getting it during this life. There's people who don't have the money, and they're getting all the head work and everything done anyway, and that's not like a crank up, folks. That wouldn't be fair to the people that are paying the money. But you're still getting help. Some people, man, it's not many, but some people are so stuck on themselves. It's disgusting, man. I mean, disgusting. This one nitwit wrote me, and I don't do personal emails. I don't have time. Okay? I'm going to get off here in a minute, make 3 spheres, get cleaned up, box up the spheres, do a double consult, and then take off to the post office, get them off, come back, more work. I mean, I'm doing a lot, and I'm very sick. So I tell this guy I don't do personal emails, and he sends me an email like this, And he calls himself CEO of Own Brand. It's like, wow, wow, you're special. Mommy's proud, It's like, oh, for Pete's sake. He said, Jay, what should we do about Nibiru coming? It's going to kill us all. Should we just go with life as it should be? This guy is just trying to be over dramatic. And I said, dude, get over yourself, man. I didn't say that, but I said that'll never happen. I said, period. It's not ever going to happen. Don't worry about it. Go on with your life. Get something done. And then he wrote back saying I was nice enough to answer that, And then he wrote back saying I need more information than that. And I said, okay, take the circumference of a banana, add to that the width of your largest eyelash, okay, and there's your answer. And I said, dude, I got no time for this joke, okay? So don't worry about it. Just consider yourself spammed. And then he wrote, I don't know, I never read it. He wrote a couple pages worth of emails of email and everything. I just spammed them. You're going to run into people that are like that are just all about themselves. I'm the leader. I'm the CEO of my own brand. Wow. None of us are any better than anyone else, than anything else. Nothing. The fact that something exists within creation gives it equality to everything else. That's why this God concept is so sick. If something was worth your praise, like I've said many times, it not only wouldn't want it, it wouldn't allow it. How many times when you were young, going home, a child going home to and to see mom and dad, I mean for dinner, you know, you lived with mom and dad, and you had to bow before you went into the house, to go in the house, bow again, get up to the table to eat, bow again. How many of you done that? I mean, if parents wanted you to do that, would they be loving parents? No. Would they care about you? No. Things are very simple. And there's idiots everywhere, folks. Don't worry about that. You can't help them. Don't let them stop you. Okay? They're the ones that are going to scream the loudest that, whatever, you're this, you're that, whatever. They're babies. They're children screaming. They have wet diapers. Just let them go. So anyway, folks, the strongest thing there is, as far as waking up all your abilities other than the crank up, okay, the strongest thing there is one of these spheres. Oh, my head's killing me. Is that the pineal one? Wow, the sucker's heavy. This sphere over here. Take the time right now to relax. Some of you can feel energy already. Take your time. Wait a minute. This is the negativity one. This one pulls negativity out of you. It's not written on it, but it is. Anyway, I'll do that in the other stone video. One of these. Oh, it's going to mess everything up. Anyway, I make some of these to power you up, to power up your core and everything else. It's got star essonite in it. That literally cranks up your core energy way over 1,000% stronger. It's over 10 times stronger. It just powers you up, flushes out your what you call chakras, your energy fields, everything. Goes into your head, fires up the hypothalamus, the pineal, the scanner. The scanner is right here. That's where remote viewing is. No one's ever talked about the scanner. Why? Because people didn't know. What's remote viewing? What's, astral projection? What's seeing with the its astral projection can be part of it, but it's seeing multidimensionally with your pineal. What's the difference between seeing something and then remote viewing? Remote viewing is pretty much in this dimension. It's just a little bit above, a little bit below, and then seeing through the pineal, you see all over the place, okay? And most of that is through astral projection, but not it all depends on a person. A third to a little over half of that is going to be through actually astral projecting out to see something. But it doesn't always work like that. It's hard to explain, but I have to do it person to person. So that's what I have a lot to leave with you to help you. And everything you need to get you going and to get you there, as far as information and stuff, is right here, free, on YouTube. Okay, now you want to get more in depth on everything, fine. I'll make the DVDs and everything else, and then you just go to spiritualfoundation.com and you purchase it through Deanna. So it's important you'll learn how to talk with the spirit guides too, especially the animals. All right, folks. Well, anyway, I'm going to teach you how to go through time and space, or that you already know how to go through time and space to grab energy, to go see a stone. When I teach you, you can do it. You have more faith in yourself. You understand for yourself. You just did it. What does that do? It helps you move forward with more faith in yourself, which is a necessity for awakening. Starting to believe some of the stuff you're seeing, but you got to do it slowly, and then you need to know, yes, I did see that. When I crank you up, when source family members crank you up, when you start, you go over your head, take your hands and you move them down until you start feeling where there's a shell in your aura, a barrier. You say, okay, you say, I feel it right here. And then you get cranked up and you go to feel it again, and it's up here and it's stronger, and you're like, damn, I'm feeling the difference. So this is my own truth. I'm not making this up because I'm talking to myself. To thine own self be true. Why lie to anybody? But lying to yourself is a good way to destroy any chance of having any kind of life. So you feel it. That way you know for a fact that something just happened. Now, after that, then going into you and just releasing your whole body to flow the way energy the way it should, then you can't even touch anything. It's like, what happened? It's all gone. Well, it's not all gone if you relax and just let your hands feel. They're buzzing. But it's not as, you don't feel the barrier anymore because the barrier is 10 foot over your head. Before doing this, the energy, if we think of the energy flowing through our body, going through a garden hose, after doing this and releasing it, it goes through a fire hydrant. Plus it's loaded with source energy, and that's when the DNA has to evolve so it's strong enough to carry all this extra energy inside you. Okay? So, and when your DNA starts growing real fast, you'll get colds, like you're going to get the flu, then it goes away. Then you get cold, like you're going to get the flu, then it goes away. Okay? When you feel the pressure in your head, and then it comes and goes, that's you being worked on. That's the brain growing, needing more blood. Blood feeds the body. It's nutrients. The oxygen comes from the oxygen in the blood comes in the lungs, and through our digestive system, you get the other food and nutrients, and they get through the blood. They get sent all the way through the body. So, there's a lot more to it than that, but I mean it's basically a simple thing. There's a lot more I can tell you about, but not now. So this is going to be the awakening series, the awakening video series, I guess. I'm sure there'll be 5 or more parts. But that way you can have what you need. And it is possible to talk with our friends on ships. But before you can trust that, you need to learn how to open up, relax, let your energy flow in and out of your body. Learn how to trust yourself. You start talking with someone, you'll actually have a conversation. You won't believe any of it, and you won't get anything out of it. First time that happened to me, I was talking to someone out in Greece. She was source. And she started talking to me, and I'm like, oh, this is weird. She goes, I think it's funny. I know who you are, and you know what? I can talk telepathically better than you right now. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. And it's the first time I'd done it, and I'm like, and I said, that's funny. How do I know I'm talking to someone? And then she said a few things. I said, okay, that never would have come out of my head. So that gave me the knowledge that I was talking to someone, because that stuff just would never even be in my head. And that came out of nowhere. You have to learn to start trusting yourself before you can become telepathic. And when you do, it's still easy for me not to say. That's all, folks. To talk back and forth with people, it's different with each person. Conversation is always different between you and anyone else when you're talking. And it's done through imagery, feeling. Anyway, we'll talk about that later. So, welcome to the introduction of the Awakening video series. I'm proving in legal courts. I'm proving, I've already started doing that. I've been proving in doctors, in the medical field, in the psychiatrist field. I'm proving who you really are inside, that you're waiting to become, is real. So when you are done, you come out, excuse me, you're not going to get locked up for it. It's time for change. I bring change, among other things. So, just a little heads up, trying to tell me what I need to do, not smart. I am a janitor. I know how to clean up the building. I know how to take care of it, keep it running. Don't tell me where you want me to go, because I'm just going to look at you and just shake my head and walk away. Unless you really bother me, then I'll make an issue out of you. Folks, and that never happens, folks. This is happening for everybody. Everyone has to become aware of who they are. And again, forget the word psychic. Metaphysical practitioner. Everyone has metaphysical abilities. Gut intuition, using the heart for feeling, pineal for seeing, and the brain also for remote viewing. The scanner. Through the scanner energy field. And exactly how the brain and body work together, the metaphysical abilities, that'll be a separate DVD. I already put out a video on that. Folks, love you, man. Have a good one.